Welcome back to the first of the worst podcast. Welcome back to
Let's start over. I won't reset it. Just start over.
What happened?
You just didn't say your name, and I got.
Oh, okay.
And I can't see you, so I didn't know. But
Okay,
no. Also,
so
before we start, what order do we want to do the list before it's like confusing? I think we should do the real estate one first because it's like the most obscure stuff.
Then I would say eligible bachelors because that's like the same amount of.
And then I'll do bad bitches, and then we can do the other one, your fighting one, because that's the one where like most people will like. Those are like that's like we're building up to that, and I feel like we can argue more on that one.
Yeah, and then we'll just generally talk GOT.
Yeah. We'll ask some Jon Snow questions that we can't even spoil. I mean, not like about his parentage, but like what we think. Like how I think.
Although you're right, the Jon Snow's parent thing is so widespread now.
I would still, if we just talk about it, I would still give like 800 spoiler alerts beforehand.
Okay,
yeah, just in case. I don't want anybody to accidentally know. But let's not worry about that that kind of stuff until the end. All right, and this is easy to edit because it's the beginning of the pod, so it's simple. I just slide the thing over. All right, so start it up.
Welcome back to the first of the worst podcast. I'm Brendan Murphy,
and I am Steve Arendis.
And Steve, it's appropriate that we're talking about a show that is episodic and kind of an odyssey because getting this podcast together was an odyssey for us today because we had 45 minutes of tech problems. So thanks for bearing with us, but it had no impact on you, listener. So know that we're coming from a place of frustration here.
Yeah, all good podcasts must die. All right. But yeah, so this week we're going
what are the words of House Greyjoy? What is dead can never die.
What is that? Valar Morghulis. We're clearly talking about Game of Thrones, and we're going full nerd. I mean, I'm not denying being a nerd
because it's such a part of pop culture at this point.
Yeah, it is, but I'm gonna go so much into a nerdier depth of it.
Yeah, you and me are pretty nerdy about it.
But you're right.
I said this to you off the air, and I think I've said this on the air. If you've read the books, you're like a super fucking expert compared to the TV people. They're in awe of you.
That said, though, I think we're gonna try to focus. We're gonna try to focus on TV stuff here.
Oh yeah, I mean, because we are at the point in the series where there is some divergences.
Yeah.
And honestly, almost every single place where they zag, where the book zigs, it's in the interest of streamlining plot.
Yeah, for sure.
I don't think they do anything that's like better because of the way they.
I mean, I love the books, but the show is great, and it seems like it's going to go in a slightly different directions from what I've heard, and I'm excited to have two different directions. Probably only one because the books will never get written.
Well, the show's even the direction the show's going into, it is in the interest of plot because at this point in the books, there are two storylines in the books that have not even touched the show. At least two. I mean, I guess three because Bran, but we know Bran's coming back.
Yeah, and we know the Greyjoys are back.
Okay, so yeah, I mean,
that's not a spoiler. It's in the trailer. The
Greyjoys are back, and the other one is some completely out of left field, like part Dorne, part Targaryen thing.
Yeah, and I don't think that's ever coming. And I'm
because it does. It actually
totally fine with it not coming.
No sense in the context of the book. The character's name is like John Connington.
It's like it just goes.
It doesn't even really make sense in the context of the book.
It's also a dead end, I think. So like, there's no point to even put it in the show.
Yeah, so no wonder he can't finish the fucking books when he's writing just like capsule storylines that have no bearing on anything else. And at the end, he does have some interaction with Khaleesi. She's just like, well, that guy was an idiot. That's like the summation of it.
They write 300 pages. He writes 300 pages. At the end is like Khaleesi's like, yeah, but no.
That guy was dumb. Next question.
It was great.
It was frustrating as shit, but
yeah, it was a red herring, I guess. Right? Is that what that's called? I don't know. So let's start with our list. So we're doing this as we do a special from time to time. We're gonna have multiple lists about Game of Thrones, and I think I can vouch for why each of these lists are quote unquote bad. I'm gonna start on the first list that I did, and it's gonna be called Places to Live in the Known World. And if you watch Game of Thrones, the known world is everywhere. And there's not really like nowhere you really want to live. There's not that many good spots.
I think there's a clear number one.
Oh, I probably would. I probably don't have it because I have a weird one as my number one, but you'll love it. It's a good one. So I took places from that are either you've seen in the show or have at least been mentioned in the show. Not so obscure that they've only been mentioned in the books or anything like that. And I was trying to figure out like, well, it's who am I? I've posed myself as I can't be me because I don't know what the prospects are for a business analyst.
Steve of House Horrendous.
Yeah, a business analyst with two twins. I mean, maybe I'd move to Bravos and try to get a job with the Iron Bank.
Hey,
I don't know.
Twins of opposite sexes in the realm, that can be a power couple.
Yeah, I mean, good. I don't. But
hey, well, this wasn't me at your baby shower. Someone suggested that you had make your own onesies.
Yeah.
Someone suggested doing one that said Cersei and one that said Jaime.
No, you can't do it.
It didn't get done, but it was a hilarious idea. That might have been friend of the show, Carly. I'm not throwing her on the bus. I'm not saying fine. It was her, but because I don't remember, I'm not sure. I feel like she would want credit for that joke.
So I'm saying the person who's in the real estate market is a fairly wealthy person, but not like a person of a name. So like I can't.
I mean, Westeros is not interesting for like America. If you're low to middle class, your options are limited.
I'm viewing this as like a guy who maybe was a ship, like working on like a trader on a ship.
You aren't from Fleabot. You aren't from Fleabot.
No, doing a little trading on the pirating on the side. You know, I got some money, but I don't have a last name where I can just move into a castle. Okay. So
are you saying you're the Black Pirate, basically?
Yeah. I'm the Black Pirate guy. That guy's awesome. I'm that guy. I have a lot of money. I can retire and just do whatever I want. So my number 10 is like, remember, this is tough. There's a lot of shitholes that just didn't make it. Like, I don't want to live in fucking King's Landing. It's a shithole. I don't want to live north of the wall. It's a shithole, even though there's no taxes. I don't want to live in I don't want to live in Slaver's Bay. Like you see, Khaleesi, it's terrible. I don't want to live in the Riverlands because it might be nice, but like your house is gonna get like torn down every 2 years by some war. And then Valeria is obviously a bad option. So I'm not going to any of those.
Valeria is a bad option?
We get all the Stonemen.
Oh, Stonemen. I'm thinking of Bravos. Pardon me. Yeah, Valeria is definitely a bad option.
Yeah, Valeria blows. So I'm starting with my first spot is I'm gonna say just outside of Winterfell in the north. But that really matters like who's in control of Winterfell. Because like it's the Starks. I mean, winter's rough, but like you got some nice people up there to take care of you. But like you don't want to go there now. Not with the Boltons in charge. So then my number 9 is Karth. If you remember that one from, what was that, season 2?
Yeah, Karth looked wonderful.
Wonderful. Looks pretty cool, except the warlocks.
Yeah, and I mean,
she freed the slaves, so it might be cool. Like that's cooler now, right?
But wait, so are the slaves free, or did they have to send a committee back to?
Yeah, I don't really know, but it was a cool town, so it's pretty low. Like I said, there's not a lot of good options.
Karth was like Egypt.
Yeah, it was.
Actually, kind of everywhere the Khaleesi goes seems like Egypt to me.
Number 8 for me is the Vale. I think it's pretty safe up there. You're kind of like boxing. There's never really battles.
It is impregnable.
It's impregnable. So like you're pretty safe. And as Westeros goes, just being safe is a pretty good deal.
The Eyrie is the great outlier in the Game of Thrones. If they could ever swing the Eyrie forces one way or another, that would really change things.
Well, now we got like,
what, I mean, particularly if
Littlefinger's got it now.
King's Landing was able to get the Eyrie, they could just crush.
And it's a wild card now because Littlefinger's got it.
They could just crush the north because they're to the north of Winterfell in my fictional map.
West or something, northwest, something like that, yeah.
But it would be a two-front war for...
Yeah. So then my number 7 is Pentos. Remember that place? That was like where like...
Spice Market.
Yeah, it's kind of nice. It's a free city, so like that's good. And it seems like it's warm. Could do worse than that. Number 6, I'm going to go with The Reach, which is near Highgarden, which is where Highgarden is, which is where like the Tyrells are from. They just seem like fancy people, and they all seem pretty nice.
We don't actually know about Highgarden and Lannisport. They just sound like amazing places.
Yeah, but I'm saying I'd rather be near where I like the Tyrells more than the Lannisters. And there's like gardens. I know there's a lot of fancy gardens.
Although now, I did pause to make sure I wasn't spoiling. Now that Kevin Lannister is in Lannisport,
we might get some of that.
It might not be as bad.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, he seems to be the sensible Lannister. He seems. My number 5, I'm gonna go a little off the board here. It's only been briefly mentioned on the show and even in the books. But it's the Summer Islands, which, if you don't know, that's where basically the black people come from. On the show. Not just like the like ethnically questionable people who live in Essos, but like any of the black dudes you see, like the guy who was in Karth or the pirate guy. Those guys they're from the Summer Islands, which are like, it's way south of Westeros, and it's like Caribbean, and it's awesome. And they're just kind of like a shipping port, but the weather's really nice. And I read, when I was looking this up, because I wanted to make sure I knew what I was talking about when it came to the Summer Islands. They have wars once in a while, but their wars are basically just jousts that are organized by people, and the loser has to move away. It's very
Dude,
nice.
That sounds like number 1.
I know. I only ranked it lower because we don't know a lot about it, but it sounds like
it's a place we've never actually seen.
But it sounds like a pretty awesome place. So it's hearsay. Like, we don't actually know if this is true. So I had to rank it a little lower. Speaking of another place that sounds like it could be number 1 on paper, and that's Sunspear Dorne.
That was actually what I would have put number 1. Well, also, based on the way it looked on the show.
Oh, it's amazing. But here it is. So what do you, if you're like a single guy with a lot of money moving to Dorne, it just seems like all like threesomes with like dark-skinned hot chicks and like eating spicy food, until you realize there's a lot of poison going around. Just a lot. There's a good chance you're just going to get poisoned.
That is how they do it. The Martells are just the Kardashians of the realm.
They kind of are. Yeah.
They got those 3 bitchy-ass sisters. Brother's having an identity crisis. The dad, don't even get me started on him.
Well, you got, and then the mom of a couple of them
That's the really, Chris.
Yeah, she's not actually like, she's like a stepmom
really
of
in
some
the
of
clan.
them. She's the mother of the youngest one, so the ones you see on the show aren't even like her kids. Yeah, it's exactly what it is. I don't even think Kris Jenner now just read these books a long time ago. This has been like, it's all modeled after them.
Actually, the guy in the wheelchair is probably Uncle Bobby.
Number 3 is Braavos. I think Braavos is pretty cool.
Braavos looks cool.
A lot of water, a lot of weird. Like,
I mean, there is a child sex trade there.
Is there?
Yeah, we saw it when he kept asking for when the bad Kingsguard kept asking.
Yeah, but is there a city that doesn't have that?
In the realm?
Maybe up north.
Tough to say.
Probably up north. They're not into that kind of stuff up north, I don't think.
I don't know. Not under the Bolton reign.
Well, it's so much worse now, but yes, you're right. And then number 2 is a place I'm hoping we're going to be visiting soon, because I think Sam's on his way there. And that's Old Town. It's like the Boston of Westeros. It's like a college town. People are smart there. Pretty liberal thinking.
It is for the academics.
Yeah, it seems like a pretty good place. It's an old city too, hence the name. And my number 1, like I said, I was going a little off the board. When I say it, you're going to realize why. And it's the Arbor. It's an island off the coast of the Reach. It's where all good wine comes from. I feel like it's like Nantucket crossed with Napa. Don't know why I wouldn't want to live there.
They do have the finest vintages.
Yeah, it's the best stuff. Yeah, I mean, the red wine, the people who wrote.
It is a particular. The present in Westeros is a particularly ripe year. I remember Lord Tyrell saying on his trip. Lord Tyrell is just the worst. I can't believe that guy hasn't gotten shanked.
He's got to, right? He's got to get got.
He's like the only comic relief on the show.
His mustache.
Because everything in the book is mentioned, because everything's told first person, is mentioned in kind of a back channel way.
Yeah, I feel
like, yeah, that guy's a dumb shit. They don't like give you an example of why, like they do in the show.
Yeah, he's like kind of like a buffoon. It's great. Yeah, so that was my list on if you want to move to Westeros and you got some cash, I say go to the Arbor. Seems like a good spot. Maybe open a little
I would say
vineyard.
that my mom's new realty company, GPS Partners, can probably help you out. They will take the commission in gold or Valyrian steel.
Oh, Valyrian steel. Yeah, for sure. You take that any day of the week.
Valyrian steel is actually what gold is in America.
Everything's based off of it. So let's get into your first list.
We're doing our I don't want to say that actually wasn't a ton of fun. We're doing our less fun list first, in my opinion.
Yeah, I agree, and I think they're all fun though. So I think these are we're trying to work.
So mine is the top 10 bachelors of Westeros.
Yeah,
of the known world. Pardon me.
The known world. Yeah, not just Westeros.
Well, the point that
we're not limiting
Westeros.
Okay,
but you will have to forgive me because of the technical problems. I didn't have time to do as much fact checking, but these people are, I believe, all bachelors, or they are for all intents and purposes bachelors.
Okay.
And that comes into play because some of these guys have been betrothed in the past, but it didn't work out.
Okay.
So, my number 10, and this is, and there's just going to be obligations, and this guy's in a relationship, and he's going to be a maester. But he's a lover.
Oh, he is. He's a gentle soul.
He's a lover. He's a
we're talking Samwell here.
I'm talking Sam Tarly as my number 10.
Yeah, he's a really nice guy.
That said, he's the only guy on my list that has an oath impediment to their love life.
Though.
Exactly. So I mean, the only thing is he's clearly in love with someone. So I don't know if that,
Yeah, and I think, did he lose all rights to his family's land when he joined the Night's Watch too? So you can't really inherit anything with him.
So but at the bottom of the list, there's not much going for inheritance. The other guy, that one that didn't make the cut, would actually be Stannis Baratheon.
Yeah,
if he's alive, which even in the books we don't know for sure where Stannis is at.
Nobody knows. We just, on the show, we saw him about to get stabbed.
But when does someone not get killed on the show? When do they shy away from the violence?
I think we got a bunch of cliffhangers. I think it was just to give us a bunch of cliffhangers at the end of the season.
And Brienne is inherently good.
Yeah, I think it was a bunch of cliffhangers, and I think some of and we'll figure out which ones. What's what, right?
So Stannis,
but
his wife is definitely dead.
Yeah, his wife's definitely dead, which means he's back on the market.
Which means
if he's alive.
And in fairness, he does have the most legit claim to the throne.
Well,
no, it's just fact. Robert was the king. His kids were bastards.
Yeah, you're right. Stannis has the best.
Stannis is the best claim.
There's two ways you could get the throne, right? It's legit ways, and it's inherit it through the correct order, or just take it over in a war. And the Lannisters did neither of those.
Well, right? Yeah. There's two legit ways, so they back-channeled their way to it.
Yeah. But you're right. Stannis has the best claim. He has a better claim than Khaleesi because they beat them.
Also, not to play gender politics, but it is still the old world of Westeros, and it would be the male that would generally have the stronger claim than the female.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for sure. That is true.
The best claim was before that was Viserys, but he was a pussy.
Well, he didn't have a claim anymore. They lost the war. He didn't have a claim. I don't think Khaleesi doesn't really have a claim. They lost. They don't have it. They don't have the throne.
But no one has a legit claim at this point. So
no, you're right. Nobody does. The best claim is Tommen because he's sitting on it.
Yeah. No, you know what? If Tommen could be a good king, but I fear that he now has vengeance in his heart.
We'll see. We'll see.
Because Joffrey was inherently evil.
He doesn't have the greatest advisors either. Let's be serious.
No, but that could be changing. Well, in the books, Kevin Lannister comes to the King's Landing. I don't know.
We don't know what's gonna happen.
I don't know if that's gonna happen.
Okay. So we even got into this list. What's your number? Who's your number 9?
This guy could have been higher. because he is an unimpeded bachelor with potentially a bright future if things break his way. Also, probably my favorite non-main character on the show.
Who is it?
Bronn.
Did he get married? He got married though.
No, Jamie. No, Jamie. He was engaged, and
Oh, you're
Jamie
right.
was like,
No.
"No, Jamie's
You're
like,
right.
sorry."
You're right. I think in the books he gets married, and that's the confusing part for me. But you're right.
Okay.
In the show, Jamie was like, nah.
Jamie's
let's
like,
just get
"Oh,
out
yeah,
of here.
You'll do better," because Bronn was plotting to murder her older sister, if you recall.
Yeah, that's what it was. It's like, we'll get you somebody in Dorne or something. It'll be cool.
My number 8, and this is the first of 2 Starks on the list, is Rickon Stark. We don't know a lot about him. We don't know what kind of guy he's going to be. He's had a fucked up childhood, that we can say.
It's really fucked up childhood. Seems feisty, but I don't know a lot about him. I don't even know what he's living with, like some wildling chick somewhere.
Yeah, I mean, what if they fell in love?
Maybe that's who it is. Maybe she's like the winner of this Game of Thrones somehow. She's played the long game.
My number 7 is currently being held hostage. May never be released. He is in the, what do they call it? Do they call it the Twins, where Frey lives?
Oh yeah, the Twins.
The Twins. He's in a dungeon of the Twins, and that's Edmure Tully.
Is he there?
According to my research, that's where he is, in a dungeon there.
Okay, yeah.
He was not killed at the Red Wedding.
You're right. He was. Yeah. Okay.
But by every indication, he's a buffoon and just kind of incompetent.
Wait, wasn't he actually married at the Red Wedding?
Oh, you're right.
He was the person who got married at the Red Wedding.
That was his wedding. It is convoluted.
Shitty wedding.
He got married into the family of the people that killed
his family. Yeah, it's not a good deal.
I will strike that and just I will move Stannis up to number 10 and everyone will get moved up a spot.
Okay.
But I have no more on deck. So this will have to we'll see. Hopefully everyone else checks out. So that would mean that I'm at my number 5 now because it would now be Stannis, Sam, Bronn, Rickon, and number 6 would be Stannis, Sam, Bronn, Rickon, and my number 6 would be Tyrion Lannister.
Oh yeah, that seems.
Who low. I think we can agree that his wedding is dissolved. His marriage is dissolved. Also, never consummated.
His original marriage
to Sansa.
Oh, I mean, he's been married.
Oh yeah,
twice.
I mean, yeah, that first marriage definitely dissolved after she blew all the guards.
If that happened,
I thought he was there for it.
I don't know. I don't really know either.
His dad was evil.
Yeah, you're right. But I don't.
No, I think you're gonna see that I did this pragmatically, and my top 5 all have very good life situations.
Okay, let's hear it then.
Number 5, Trystane Martell, the heir to Dorne.
Great, that's a great one. It's a great one.
Yeah. Number 4, we don't really know exactly what he is the heir to, but it's possible this guy could just end up. I mean, I don't think it will happen, but Littlefinger could be the winner of the Game of Thrones. Yeah, he's unmarried.
He's playing unmarried, the game. And he might be playing the hardest.
And technically ward of the Vale.
Yeah, I mean, he's a good catch at this point.
Which is kind of the swing vote.
Yeah, we were talking about it earlier. It's a good spot to be in.
Although we don't really know what he's going to do in King's Landing, it should be interesting. My number 3 is the actual heir to the Vale, although there's no way this guy makes it. Is Robin Arryn.
I don't even think he would live like 10 more years if like nothing else, like if he was just healthy. The kid's special.
A kid. I mean, they made several. They did make several.
God bless his soul.
They made several referrals to the fact that they had trouble getting pregnant and that the kid was sickly. And Jon Arryn
was also like breastfed until he was like 6.
Well, yeah, she's psycho. She was so crazy.
It didn't help him. That didn't help him either. Yeah, but you're right. He's got. You got the land.
My number two. If things were to break his way, this guy could definitely win the Game of Thrones. It's Bran.
Yeah.
I mean, there's definitely a world where he's Warden of the North.
I mean, he's the oldest male Stark, right?
Yeah.
And I mean, he's a cripple. I don't know if he could produce an heir, which is an issue, but yeah, I think people could rally around him.
All right. So in the succession, if he were unable to produce an heir, it would just be Rickon's oldest son that would take over.
Yeah, or Rickon.
Or Rickon if Fran died before Rickon.
Yeah. I think that's how it works.
Yeah. And my number one, the richest family in the realm. He is gay, so your sex life wouldn't be tremendous, but you gotta go with Loras Tyrell.
Oh, it's a great catch.
I want to remember this now because he actually didn't make my list, but he was my next list, but was in the others receiving votes because that was a very competitive list.
Yeah, no, Loras is a great one.
Yeah, I mean, and him and Cersei are definitely not going to get married. So
no, I don't know why she was so against that, except for that she just loves Jaime. But that's a good deal, especially especially the fact that he was gay made it a good deal for her. It made it the best deal for her.
Honestly, he would have been like a good husband.
He really would have. She would have had to have sex with him. Maybe, I don't know, even to try to get an heir. They would have had to pump one out, but she just got that with Jaime and got that done.
Nothing she hasn't done before.
Yeah, it would have been the best possible situation for her. I didn't really understand why she was against it.
It was to rebel against her tyrant father.
Yeah, that was really what it was. That's a solid list.
To the core.
You produce 5 better ones than Tyrion, I think.
On paper.
On paper. I mean, you can argue Tyrion over, I think, Littlefinger. Or, well, I don't know. But no, you can. It's a good list.
You could probably argue Tyrion over Littlefinger.
Yeah, I like where you went there.
But Tyrion's not even in the realm right now.
No, he's not. He's off the board, kind of. But really on the board, I don't know.
No, I mean based on commercials, which I mean they do it like historically go out of their way to not
to mislead.
But it looks like Tyrion's basically about to be running the show.
Yeah. Well, theoretically,
and
maybe one day Khaleesi comes to Westeros, maybe Tyrion's with him. His stock skyrockets. If he's
Tyrion is the perfect hand of the king. No one was better at that job than him.
Oh, he's the best. Yeah,
because Ned was not maniacal enough for it.
Yeah, she's like a baseball team she's like the Cubs when everything was in shambles and they hired Theo Epstein.
Yeah, Tyrion has some Theo qualities, although I would say that she's got some decent pieces in terms of leadership around her.
She did, but Barristan Selmy got killed. He was a nice piece.
But Jorah's back, and Jorah's advice has always been pretty good.
Yeah, kind of. He's got some ulterior motives, basically sleeping with her. But
you're right. But I don't think that ever actually.
Dario gives decent advice too. She's got a good people around her, and Miss Andy kind of gives decent advice. She's learning stuff. She's got a good team around her. She needs it because she doesn't really know what she's doing. Which is going to lead to my next list, which is baddest bitches in the realm. And for those who don't know what that means, it's a good thing to be a bad bitch, right, Brendan?
Oh yeah, white people, it's good. Like Nicki Minaj is a bad bitch.
Yeah. A bad bitch is like that's a woman who's got her shit together and like kind of an independent woman of sorts.
Yeah, like Elizabeth Warren is a bad bitch.
Yeah, run shit. Yeah, and does stuff like that. So here's where we go. The first person I want to tell you didn't make the list, but I think this is my not receiving votes, but she's like a buy low candidate, and that's Sansa. Because she's been just not much, but
she's got to do a star turn here where
she's got to, and then she's got to just take control of her life, really, and that's when she could skyrocket up this list. So then I'm gonna get into the list here. My number 10, I'm going with Mira Reed. If you know who that is the girl who's on Bran's vision quest with him.
Yeah, her brother's kind of a simpleton too.
Yeah, she kind of had to take care of, like, she had this like cripple She had her brother who was like, I don't even know what his deal was. And she was really wanting to get shit done. And she was just with them. She's like a kid too. She's not old. She's young. She's like 16. And she was doing stuff. My number 9 is this is a confusing one for me always. I think in the show her name is Yara Greyjoy. She has a different name in the book, so it's really confusing for some reason. I don't understand why they did that.
It's Asha in the book, right?
Yeah, I don't understand why their name's different because it's the same character. It's not like it's a different character. But yeah, she might have an up arrow next to her too, depending. Now that we know the Greyjoys are kind of back in the fray here, I think she can have an up arrow next to her. But we know she's kind of like taken over as like she like runs ships and stuff. She has like her own little army with the Greyjoys running stuff. She did kind of flake out when she saw Theon on the show, and that kind of lowers her on the list. My number 8 might be controversial because I think people might think she needs to be higher because she's definitely a badass, but she kind of doesn't really do things for herself, and kind of does things that she's told to do because she loves to take oaths seriously, and that's Brienne of Tarth.
Yeah, she can be kind of a pussy.
She's not like her own woman. She's definitely a woman who's somebody else who just takes oaths and takes direction. But she's a badass though on the battlefield. Number 7, I feel like could, as she ages, just skyrocket maybe to number 1 one day, and that's Arya. She's obviously got her own agenda, but she obviously needs help still, right? She's always looking for guidance, be it from the Hound or be it at the House of Black and White. But she could definitely skyrocket up this list one day. Now we're getting into, I think, what I consider, I guess, the real contenders here. Number 6, basically a bad bitch in every sense of the word. We're going with Ellaria Sand. And that's the Kris Jenner, as we were talking about earlier.
She's kind of the one that has all the fucking... She has a 3-headed monster of crazy.
Yeah, she just poisoned the Myrcella Lannister with a kiss, right? Is that what happened? Yeah, that's what happened. And yeah, she's out for vengeance here. Now that her paramour was killed. So she's number 6 on my list. Number 5, I'm going to try to do the whole name here. I'm going to do the full title. All right, I have it written down. There's no way I could do this off the top of my head. Daenerys Stormborn of House Targaryen, first of her name, the Unburnt, Queen of Meereen, Queen of the Andals, the Rhoynar and the First Men, Khaleesi of the Great Grass, Sea, Breaker of Chains, and the Mother of Dragons. With the title like that would just get you on this list no matter what.
Seems low.
Okay, here's the deal. It might be a little. I maybe can move her up 1. I can't move her up any higher than one slot.
I mean, I got 2 in my head that are clearly superior to her.
Yeah.
And I see where you're coming. Okay, I think I know at least 3 of your next ones, and I think you can make a compelling case for all of them.
So my knock on Khaleesi is that she still just doesn't really know what she's doing. She's got like the drive, but she just doesn't know what. She just needs a little more focus or to figure it out.
She's way too broad in her.
Yeah, I think she's the one who ultimately will, at the end of the show, probably be the number 1 on this list.
Oh, definitely. I mean, go through your next ones. I mean, like someone like.
Well, let's do my number 4.
Yeah,
this is the one I think I could move her above because she's currently imprisoned, and she's the biggest mean girl on the show, and that's Marjorie Tyrell. Okay,
so on the show, Marjorie's not in prison, right?
No, she definitely is.
Oh, she's still in prison.
Her and her brother are both in prison.
Yeah. I mean,
this is a mean girl.
Well, as high as she. One, is she a mean girl? Because Cersei's also a queen bitch.
Yeah, those two just go at each other.
So they just have a little thing going with each other.
But yeah,
Marjorie might actually not be that bad.
I don't know. She said she said some nice, like, she took some shots at Cersei last year, but she deserved them. I mean, Cersei deserves the shots.
Cersei was such a bitch.
I mean, Cersei's my 3. And
if this were a season ago, she'd clearly be number 1.
Yeah, she took some shots last year, right? Marjorie took some shots at her. She got shamed. She might go back up. She might have another slot back
Here's
up.
the
here,
thing:
it seems
Cersei
like.
is a victim of her own miscalculations more than almost anyone on the show.
Absolutely. 100% agree. 100% agree. She
Religious militants are always a bad idea.
She's the definition of playing checkers, not chess.
Yeah.
She's booking one move ahead every time. She's doing the best thing she could do for her immediate future.
Tyrion was a chess player. That's why he was a great.
The chess players are Tyrion, Varys, Littlefinger. Those are the big chess players on the show. And now two of them are together, kind of. Right? Is Varys? No, Varys left though. Varys isn't with them anymore, is it? Those are like the three guys who really are like. I guess Tywin was before he got killed.
He was. Tywin never really miscalculated.
No, he didn't. I mean, he didn't know what was going to happen. It was hard to. It would have been hard for him to predict that happening. How he got killed.
I think you could actually make a case that Davos is a bit of a chess player.
Yeah, I think he is too. I think we'll hopefully get to see more of that this year. My number 2.
Also, Sam. Sorry.
Oh yeah, a little bit, right?
He did kind of do a coup to get Jon Snow elected.
Yeah, you're right. You're absolutely right. Number 2 is the Red Woman herself, Melisandre.
Oh man.
Yeah, I mean,
but her stock has fallen.
Hey, she's all over the board. Here's the thing. I think she sees the things she says she sees, but she's really bad at interpreting it or something. She has these visions. She just can't. She's not like piecing them in place, but she will make things happen. I'll tell you that. If you give her, she'll take shots. She'll take her shots.
Man, do not go around her if you got some pink blood in you.
She'll take her shots. Right? She's not gonna hold back.
Speaking of King's blood, so when Ari, sorry, do you want to do your number 1?
Oh yeah, my number 1 is the Queen of Thorns herself, Olenna Tyrell.
Really?
Yeah. She killed the fucking king.
She did kill the king.
She killed the fucking king because she didn't want her granddaughter married to her, and then got her granddaughter married to a nicer boy. And still is the queen. She's playing chess too.
Oh, she's definitely playing chess. So I wanted to bring up something that never really went full circle, and they make a bit of a big deal about when Lemmy and Hot Pie and Arya and what's the other kid's name? Gendry, who's Robert's son.
Where the hell is Gendry? Is that
exactly? Is he never coming back? Is that like
boat somewhere? Right?
Is that like the Brotherhood without banners? Like
maybe he's with them.
Come back around.
Maybe he's with them. I just assume everybody who just goes away is all together somewhere.
It would make me feel good if he was with them.
It seems like a place he should be, right? He'd fit in there. He's kind of like a loner now.
Wait, didn't he stay with the Brotherhood?
I don't know what he did.
Isn't that where he is? I think that is where he actually went.
Didn't Melisandre take him?
But then he got released by Davos.
Yeah, he was just rowing a boat. We assumed, I think he was going to the Brotherhood without banners, but we didn't know, right? I don't know. But yeah, well, Hot Pie, he's just a baker now. He's fulfilled his destiny. Remember? Like,
yeah, I mean, they find him and he makes a wolf piece of bread.
Yeah, when she's with the Hound, right? When she's with the Hound, when Arya's with the Hound, yeah. He's just a baker now, doing his thing, and then the other guy got killed, right?
Yeah, he got killed pretty quick.
Yeah, but yeah. What is going on with Gendry? He's got to be important, right?
It seemed early in the show that he would be,
or at least we need some closure.
Early in the books too.
We at least need like a cameo of him coming back so we can figure out what he's up to, like they did with Hot Pie.
Yeah, that's kind of a wire move.
It's like he's just there for like 2 minutes in some episode.
Random guy off your ensemble cast.
Yeah, like he'll just be somewhere where they are. It's a good move. All right, let's get to the big list, which you did, and I'm prepared to argue because this is a great list because I don't think there's a clear-cut number 1 on this list. I think it's a really hard.
All right, I mean, I'm going to be honest with you. I just kind of went with their record.
Ooh.
So how have you been in the field? Not how is your reputation. This is the college football poll. Who would you beat? You got no losses. You're in good shape.
So what Brennan's about to list off are, you're up on trial. You can choose anybody in the realm for trial by combat. Who do you take? Are you choosing current P alive? What's the situation?
Oh, that's a good question. So I think almost everyone who made my list. Let me look. Almost everyone who made my list is alive or kind of alive. Oh no. There's two. There's two definitely dead, and one who's in like a weird state, and one who's in flux.
We don't know if he's dead. Okay, I know who that is.
But the way that my list worked is the last version of you that we saw is the version I'm ranking on.
Okay, so Jamie has one hand.
For instance, Robert Baratheon eligible for the list. But you don't want fat ass Robert Baratheon in your trial.
You would want young Robert Baratheon,
who is peak Robert Baratheon, becoming king.
Yeah,
he's one of the top few.
Yeah, I gotcha. Okay,
so that's how I did this, and like same. So my others receiving votes, because this was a hard one. Loras didn't make it because Loras always kind of looks like a pussy. I know that they're trying to make him feminine and all that stuff, but he got his ass kicked by the cult people. What are they called again?
Yeah, the
Faith Militant.
The Faith Militant,
which sounds like a great heavy metal band.
Here's the thing about Loras. He's great practice player.
He's a great practice player. Loras is like Darko or something.
Yeah, kills it in like just like the events and stuff. But
also,
like not
never been in a real war.
Yeah, no, he's all show.
So Loras didn't make it.
Quite the swordsman though.
I think this guy actually might. It was a tough omission, but I didn't have a lot of body of work to go off of. He was a big talker, and that's Syrio Forel, who trained Arya.
I mean, he's 0-1, right?
He's 0-1,
but it was like a 1-on-4 to be
with
fair.
a wooden sword.
Yeah,
with a wooden sword.
He didn't have a great situation, but you're right. He might have just been a big talker. Those who can't teach. So.
Speaking of him, also not on the list, but this person is undefeated. This is like a Boise State. And that would be Arya.
Yeah.
She's pretty fucking crafty. Now, I don't know if you want her in a one-on-one.
One-on-one, head-to-head. Maybe
head-to-head.
After some more training at the House of Black and White.
Yeah, and then my last others receiving votes was Grey Worm, which was a hard omission. That was far and away the hardest omission.
Oh, that's a tough one. Yeah, Grey Worm's a tough one. But he's trained to fight more in a group setting.
And also he did, I mean, after killing 50 of them, he did get tagged by the mask guys. Sorry, it gets hard.
The Harpies, the Sons of the Harpy.
The Sons of the Harpy. All right, so without further ado, number 10, and this is kind of on the strength of a loss.
Okay. Good loss.
Good loss.
It's the RPI.
Oberyn Martell.
Yeah, I mean, he basically won.
You could say that was a tie.
I think of, did you watch the challenge? This is like when those twins screwed up by celebrating early in that challenge in the tug of war thing. They won. Brutal.
Also, they did win. MTV did not show MTV did not show a replay, and they always show a replay.
If I ever meet TJ in person, I'm asking him. I'm going to go after him on that. But yes, okay, Oberyn. Yeah, you're right. He's got a good rep and probably one of the better losses you can have.
Also, he did that with a spear.
But to be fair, it was a poison-tipped spear.
Yeah, but
he chose that weapon.
He chose the weapon. You choose your weapon.
You do choose your weapon.
But it is impressive.
It is. It's very impressive. All right.
My number 9 is Daario.
See, I think this is low. But we'll see.
Everyone is okay. So actually, looking at this, the next guy I probably should have had lower than Daario. Just honestly,
Daario on the show is what, like 1-0.
1-0, but has a big reputation. He fought his way out of the fighting pits.
Fought his way out of the fighting pits.
But everyone has a big reputation.
You're right. That's true. It's hard to go on reputation alone. But he did fight that guy on a horse and killed him in like 1 second.
And he did
the whole city with the pressure on.
He did off camera killed the 2 other guys from the
yes.
Whatever the hired hands.
But he was a different actor.
Yeah, as a different actor.
All right. Who's your number 8?
Jamie. Because
there's no way. If we were a trial, whatever, you'd pick Jamie over Daario right now? That's crazy.
That's why I said that this next guy. That was what I looked at and I screwed up.
Okay.
But
Okay.
what is Jamie's defeat? Ever getting captured.
He's getting bailed out a lot by Bronn. Bronn's bailing him out a lot right now.
Getting captured in combat and getting his hand chopped off as a cheap shot.
But you're right though. He's really never lost.
Oh, and Jamie's number one. If
two hands, I think he is. I think two hands. Jamie's number one.
In the show, they talk about him like he's Will Chamberlain. No, like he's never gonna that type of talent will never be seen again in that type of frame or whatever.
Yeah, no, you're right. No, I have one person I can put up against. And
well, your person you're not gonna like where I have your person.
Okay,
who I think. Number 7 is Jorah Mormont.
Okay, Jorah, old school. He got that old man strength. Not too old though.
Barristan didn't make it.
He was old at the end. He was real old at the end.
Yeah, I mean, I think this is totally another list if you just do their peak selves. But
yeah, Jorah though is at that like where he still got old man strength.
Yeah, I mean, he has killed the shit out of some Dothrakis.
He's killed a lot of people.
Yeah,
he's got the grayscale, but he's still good for a bit here.
Dothraki Blood Rider.
Yeah, that's true. And now he's in the pits. He killed a bunch of dude in the pits.
Yeah, he destroyed people in the pits. With his cunning more than
it seems like if you're really good in the pits, though, it seems like if you're like a really good warrior, you just roll through the pits.
Yeah, who are the chumps that go to the pits?
I don't know. It doesn't seem like a good
What
spot
is this,
to
Bellator? Get into the real UFC. Can't believe I just made that joke. I hate all
I can't believe I got it. I can't believe it. What? All right, what number are you on now? 7?
I am on 6. Jorah was my 7. Number 6, and I mean this one of all of them. Well, I think from here out, I'm probably going to get some controversy. But guess what? This guy is basically dead. The Mountain.
I don't know. I kind of agree. I don't know who you have above him. But I definitely think some people would put him as number 1, and I don't think he's that good.
All right, I would say this. Remember when Bronn had the trial by combat at the Vale?
Yeah.
In that wide ass space, the Mountain would be fucked. He's way too slow and limbering.
It'd be hard to push him down that hole.
Yeah, well, you could just kill him. That's not how you have to win.
It's true.
You could kill him and then drag his dead weight into the hole, which probably wouldn't be that fun either.
It would suck. But we'll see who you got above him. I definitely think he's not a number 1 type, but he definitely I basically watched him lose and then win, and then still pretty much die. I don't know. I'm not that impressed with his work, to be fair.
My number 5 is the Hound, who's his brother. Who
have we seen the Hound win? Like, so I love the Hound. He's one of my favorite characters. Have we seen the Hound win?
Yeah, he beats Thoros of Myr.
Oh yeah, but that dude never wins. He just gets killed and reanimated all the time.
Well, he's still a knight. Are you talking about him like he's the Sixers? Like, these are all good. This is like the Western Conference 3 years ago. Like, everyone is really good.
No, I mean I love
he had
the
a
Hound.
Flaming sword in a war.
That's true.
In fact, he should be my others receiving votes. First of all, he can't die.
He can die. He just what he does. He can just lose as many losses as ever. Like he can. He probably has the record. You know what? Nobody has more losses than Thoros of Myr. I'll tell you that.
He's the Bill Fitch.
Everybody, as far as I know, nobody has more than 1 loss besides him. So I don't know. All right. So are we on your number 4?
Yeah. My number 4 was someone that I had a little higher too, so I screwed that up. So I had to do all this by hand today. So we're going to move Grey Worm into the number 10 spot, so I will reread the list. The list as such was Grey Worm, Oberon, Dario, Jamie, Jorah, Mountain, Hound. So we are at number 3,
Okay.
which would be Khal Drogo, who I think you would. You basically told me in a pre-show meeting that you would have
He
had him
never
number 1.
lost.
He has lost to fate.
He never lost a fight.
He got nicked, and as a result, died.
Blood
the
magic.
That's the same thing that killed the Mountain.
It's true, I guess.
But you're gonna hate my number 1.
We're on your number 2 right now.
Yeah,
though,
I know.
right?
But my number 2, I think I have a pretty legitimate claim.
Okay, let's hear it.
Brienne.
Brienne's good. I mean, she beat the Hound.
She beat the Hound.
We don't know if she killed him, but she definitely beat him.
That's her only problem. She's not ruthless enough.
Yeah.
She beat that whole, gaggle of men at the battle royale for
Renly.
For Renly.
No, I mean that's a good answer. Brienne kicks ass.
Okay, and my number 1. Who has won more than Bronn?
You mean like one-on-one fights? What about like Jon Snow? Are we saying he's dead?
Well, no, it would be Jon Snow is eligible because
we don't know technically.
Well, Jon Snow is eligible because everyone's eligible because it's the last form of you we saw.
Yeah. I mean, Jon Snow, he'd be a pretty good choice, I think.
Yeah, I guess I just thought about Jon Snow. And
here's the thing: Bronn was scared to play. He was scared to fight the Mountain. He was.
Oh, everyone was, except Oberon. But Bronn carried Jamie through fucking Dorne.
That's true. Bronn carried Jamie through Dorne. Well, okay, let's hear about some other people maybe you're missing. What about that big black dude in Dorne with the spear?
I mean, God, I don't even know that guy's name.
Areo Hota.
Areo Hota.
What about Woon Woon, the giant? Does he count, or is he a giant? Is it like a different beast?
I mean, I assume that he's eligible for single combat. I didn't really think.
Can I select him? I mean, you could probably kill him.
Well,
though. I bet you could. We know
they
George
have to agree to do it.
That's true, and we know giants can be beat in combat because that red bearded dude killed one. Which he's probably a good choice too.
Oh, that red bearded dude would be
Wildling. Yeah. Tor Giantsbane or whatever his name is. He'd be a good choice. That's a good guy to have on the I think he'd be a good guy to have on your side. He's been in a few scuffles in his day.
And did he kill the Lord of Bones?
Yeah, he might have.
Or he at least beat his ass.
The Lord of Bones sucked.
The Lord of Bones was all talk.
He's had a cool outfit.
Yeah, he was Oregon. Cool uniform, no defense.
Yeah, he just had a cool outfit. That was it. He had nothing else going for him. And he was it rattled and stuff, and he had a mask and the bone. I don't know. But yeah, I don't know who else you'd take unless you count people who do magic and stuff, but there's not really any of them.
Oh no, I mean there's Ned. Ned would certainly still be on the possibles.
Yeah, but wait, I mean he was old towards the end. He wasn't.
Yeah, I mean
prime
you
anymore.
could say the bear too, but he was old.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I think you got a solid list there. You take Bronn over Brienne in a one-on-one fight?
It's a tough call, but Bronn is ruthless.
Bronn would fight dirty. You're right. Bronn will fight dirty. And that's what you want. You want somebody who's going to pull out every trick in the book when you're picking somebody up with your life.
Has never been close to defeat.
Yeah, the only time he almost died was he got tricked by a chick with her shirt off, basically.
Yeah, that's his weakness. He's a pussy hound. Let's be real.
That is his weakness, right?
Bronn is great. Bronn is just a fun-loving guy.
He's one of the more
Bronn doesn't
likable.
give a shit if you're a Lannister.
No,
Yeah,
Sir Bronn of the
Martell.
Blackwater.
Yeah,
Sir Bronn of the Blackwater.
he's in there getting drunk, singing the Lannister songs. He doesn't have an allegiance. He's like a Blackhawks fan. I mean, I'll say this: he roots for fun.
Yeah, he roots for fun.
I got too much going on. Threw it for fun.
I'm trying to. No, I don't think there's anybody you really like completely left off the list to be mad. If it's ever maybe Jon Snow.
Jon Snow is definitely not someone that I overlooked.
I'm just trying to. Well, I mean, there's people we've
I
heard
guess,
of.
I mean, I would concede that there's probably a few people that Jon Snow could be on here over.
Yeah, there's probably people we've heard of, but not that we've actually seen yet. So I have trouble putting like Sam's dad on the list because we don't really know what he's about, but we know.
Oh, he's got to be old as shit, though.
I mean, Sam's pretty young.
So he's like Ned Stark's age.
I mean, he could be like 40. These guys pump out kids when they're like 17.
Yeah, he could be like 40.
I have no clue. He could be like 60. I don't know. He could be like anything. But we don't know anything about him, so you can't rank him. So those are pretty much our list. Okay, I got a couple questions for you. Let's just go over these questions first. I'll warn you if we get in anything really spoilery, everybody here, because we don't want to spoil anything. Let's just answer the questions that obviously everybody wants answered or has their own theories on. First off, is Jon Snow dead? I say yes. Like,
yes,
is he actually
yes, but whatever Jon Snow is will be back on the show and in the books.
Okay, so Jon Snow. So we both agree that he is dead.
I think Jon Snow is definitely going.
I think he's definitely coming back onto the show.
He's going to be in other or whatever whatever they're called.
So you think he's going to be like a White Walker or
yes, but not necessarily a bad one.
Okay, I don't. I think he's just going to get like Lord of Lighted, like your boy Thoros of Myr.
Oh, you think he's just going to get brought back to life?
Yeah, by Melisandre.
So that'll be the first time she got some shit right.
Hey, take some shots.
Okay, here's the thing. That has something to do with King's Blood too, then, because her obsession with the King's Blood.
But Thoros of Myr didn't have King's Blood, and they were able to reanimate him.
We also did unintentionally just kind of do a spoiler.
Yeah, we know there's theories on that, but we don't know for sure.
Well, yeah, that's not proven, but it's the most common theory. Oh, well, we know Jon Snow's back on the show.
Yeah, it's pretty.
Which I guess doesn't give a ton of credence to him being a White Walker or an other because those things don't really look like any people.
And they take some time, I feel like, to happen, maybe. I don't know. My buddy said maybe they try to. I don't know. I don't want to give any spoilers. Should we just give a little spoiler alert here?
Spoiler alert! If you don't, is this on Jon Snow's family lineage?
Yeah, just spoiler alert. We're gonna talk about things we don't know everything because nobody actually knows.
Nothing is more than theory.
Yes, but my buddy Wally seems to think that they're gonna burn Jon Snow at the wall, and he's not gonna burn, which I've never thought of before, and it makes sense.
But what will happen then?
Well, there's only one reason he wouldn't burn.
Blood of dragons.
And that means King's Blood. And then Melisandre swoops in and is like, hey, let's get weird. I like the idea of them burning him and him not burning.
Yeah, I like that idea too.
It's not, I can't believe I never thought of that before. But yeah. So that would be an interesting thing. What are you most excited for this season besides figuring out what the hell's going on with Jon Snow? Because as people who've read the books,
oh, Tyrion. I mean, I'm ready to see Tyrion back running shit.
Yeah. To be fair, like, are you pretty proud of people who read the books to not let everybody know that happened to Jon Snow? That he just got. I feel like nobody knew that who didn't read the books.
Even though they were clearly setting up for a coup all season.
But you know what I mean? Like everybody, like nobody knew that was coming. I don't think.
You don't think that it was setting up weird with his squire, like
Ollie?
Ollie clearly turning against him.
It's not who does it in the books, though, is it?
No, but
I knew.
Okay, we knew it was coming.
He was gonna get
kind of contentious that you could.
Something was gonna happen. And the books leave us kind of at the same place where like it's literally like that. We don't know if he's dead or if he's alive or what, right?
No, and also like Khaleesi.
We're left at the same place with Khaleesi in the books.
Yeah, and I mean we're gonna see So like that's a storyline because Khaleesi is the most constant character on the show. The first scene of Game of Thrones is Khaleesi.
Yeah.
Or is it?
I mean, theoretically, those two are the stars of the show. But though Jon Snow kind of takes some time to get into it, though he's important right away because he finds the dire wolves. Like that's one of the first things that happens.
You don't realize how big a deal that is.
You don't realize it, but he's there right away doing stuff. You know what I like?
I mean, I guess Khaleesi's still kind of a background thing because fucking Viserys.
Her brother. She's like, yeah.
He's fucking.
He was the worst.
He's like Joffrey evil.
Yeah, we didn't have enough time to really grow super evil like Joffrey and Ramsay. He's more of a Joffrey type though.
Yeah. Yeah, because Ramsay's handy.
Oh, like Ramsay like actually gets stuff done. He's just a fucking psychopath.
Ramsay, like basically won the war against Stannis.
Apparently, he just like slipped in and just like, right?
Yeah, he like CIA'd some shit.
He's like a fucking ninja. Right? Like we've seen him fight with knives and then apparently he can just slip in and out of places and like come back and like a bunch of people are dead and nobody really knows what happened.
Yeah, it was a very big strategic victory.
Yeah. I'm actually really excited to figure out what's going on with like Sansa and if she's ever going to have a good thing happen to her on the show. I saw the last trailer. She's wearing a direwolf brooch. I don't know what that means, but it means she's got something going for her at least. I don't know exactly what it means, but it means she's probably not.
Where could she go that she would not be like a wanted? The Vale. Back to the Vale.
The Vale, but that's exactly where they'd look for her.
Or Dorne.
Would they defend her at the Vale? They married her off. Like Littlefinger married her off. Right? He would just be like, what are you doing? The Wall.
The Wall. Hooking up with
her least favorite sibling, Jon Snow, if he's alive.
Or
she doesn't like him. At least we don't remember that.
Davos.
But Davos doesn't know who the fuck she is, really.
But Davos respects how
yeah, he does.
He respects the great families.
Yeah. Davos is the best guy. He might just be like the best dude in Game of Thrones. I don't know. He was so honest that he'd like let a guy cut his fingers off for saving his life because he stole some onions. It's like, yeah, fair enough. I saved your life, but I stole these onions. So
he smuggled the onions in to save everyone's life.
Yeah, that's what it was. He had to smuggle onions in to save people's lives. But, you know, he's got to pay the price for the smuggling, even though he saved lives.
That encapsulates Stannis and Davos very well. Both like pragmatic, fair.
Like, hate that I have to do this, but I got to do it. He's like, totally understand Stannis.
Davos's only grievances with Stannis come because of Lord of Light. Davos will always go by the old book to a T.
He thinks the whole Lord of Light stuff's bullshit.
And to date, looks pretty fucking right.
Yeah, I think we're gonna get another Red Priestess on the show. I know in the books there was a few.
Well, I mean, we saw one.
We saw one. No, I think we're getting one. I think
like
we're
a real one,
like another one, out in the east. There's in one of the trailers. There's a woman who looks very like. Clearly, like this person's in the show now, but you don't know who she is because you've never seen her before, and I don't know who she is, but she's kind of wearing some stuff. It looks like Melisandre would wear, like a choker, going up and talking to Tyrion or something, preaching some real lore in the Lord of Light. So the religions there, it seems like they're all right. Not all of them, but it seems like there's definitely like, so like in the real world, there's no like proof of any religion, right? Like people just have faith or whatever. But there's definitely like the religious people in the show, like things have happened that like there's clearly these like gods. Then there's not just one right answer. It doesn't seem.
What are the
well, like clearly the
right
Lord of
from
Life
7?
That one might be bullshit.
So the main one
That one might be bullshit. Because I don't think we've ever seen anything. But we feel like the Godswoods, they can like hear things and like see things up and through the trees with like that's like your nature-y religion. And there's clearly some shit going on with the Lord of Light. And like they brought people back from the dead.
Yeah, well, were the Children of Forest and all that, is that part of a religion or is that just part of the past?
I think that has to do with the Godswoods and stuff. I think that was their religion. And I think the first people who moved up north took over their like adopted their religion. That's how they were like accepted there without having to fight wars with them. Until like the Lannister type people came and cut down all the trees.
What a bunch of shits.
Because they had the 7. Because they had the 7. There was like a crusade.
But they didn't end up taking over the religions of the North.
No, they just were just like, no, you guys all suck. I think the 7 is like Christianity. That's what the stand-in for Christianity. The other one's like paganism, and I don't know what the hell the Lord of Light is. Magic? I don't know. But either way, no matter what, I'm pretty effing excited for what's going to go down here on April 24th. When do you think we're going to learn about Jon? If Jon Snow comes back to life, which we're assuming it's either coming back to life or going to be like dead alive.
It could be
or something.
episode 8.
Yeah, that's what I was wondering, right?
Episode 8 is just the
9 is the big one.
Oh, 9 is it 9?
Though they threw us for a loop in this last season, right? And they dropped that big like that big White Walker battle on us early. But yeah, I don't. Yeah, they could string out the Jon Snow stuff for sure.
It could be like Bran. We might just never hear from him this season, although he is documented to have been on set.
We're gonna hear from him this season. I mean, no, in the trailer you see him. He's just like dead. He's like laying on a ground dead. He's like laying on a thing dead, and like our boy Davos is ready to like prevent them from like taking his body. Top 5 favorite. Who's your favorite characters before we end this?
Oh God. In no particular order.
Yeah,
Tyrion,
no particular order.
Davos, Bronn.
I'm an Arya guy. I like Arya. I'd throw Arya into that mix.
Her whole thing is a little slow for me. You know, like the moves she makes, they're so long. It's such a long view.
Yeah, I really actually don't know where it's going. I have less of an idea where that's going than other things. I loved Bran in the books, but it's weird. You
know, the problem with Bran is the problem with the early Khaleesi storylines. It just feels so isolated from everything else.
Yeah, I think it's going to come back to us this year, though.
It is. I mean, because Khaleesi everything is going to come back together.
I think he's going to be kind of our eyes and ears and able to let us on the show see things that we weren't able to see. Hopefully. In the past. And maybe the future. Can you see the future, too? Maybe. I don't know. It's a great question.
I'm still. Who are your? I can only get 3. I mean, who are your top 5?
I like Davos a lot. I mean, not that I don't like the character, but every time Cersei's on, it's pure entertainment.
She's one of the better actors on the show.
It's pure entertainment. She's drunk. Is she the best drinker on the show? Tyrion's up there. I think she could drink Tyrion under the table, though. The Hound can drink if he's still alive.
The Hound can drink. So can Bronn.
There's a lot of drinking. I think is Bronn drinking like right when he wakes up, like Cersei and like Tyrion? Those two just drink. They don't stop. I feel like Bronn and the Hound just like hit the bar and go on a bender, but I feel like Tyrion and Cersei's life is a bender.
Yeah, I mean
they're alcoholics.
Yeah, it's even more pronounced with Cersei in the books.
It's so much more pronounced in the books.
They're also like, she's gaining weight, things like that.
she's gaining weight in the books. She like has like she's like quit men.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
It's so
Has she ever?
in the books, and that's not even a spoiler. That happened like a while ago in the books. It would have been like a season or so ago on the show.
Yeah.
But God just decided to skip that weird plot line.
Well, yeah, because they get so much criticism for all the sex now. Imagine if they just threw in 2 hot lesbians.
And that happens multiple times in the books. It is actually shocking they haven't put it on the show somewhere. Because in the books, Daenerys has
And Miss Andy.
Daenerys and Miss Andy have a closer relationship than they do on the show.
That still seems possible. Although I guess they're separated now.
Yeah. And Miss Andy on the show has a thing for Grey Worm.
Oh yeah, well
So
that's
that
good.
wouldn't
That's
work
gonna go far.
All right, it's a late night. We did a night game here.
We did a West Coast game.
West Coast game. We'll go watch Kobe's last game.
And
the
Warriors.
All right, happy watching Game of Thrones, everybody. We'll probably have a few episodes or the end of normal episodes where we might talk about it if like crazy things happen or whatever, and we'll give spoiler alerts for people who aren't caught up and stuff. But
exactly, I almost spoiled Togetherness for Steve this week, so we do got to make sure to keep our spoiler alerts going.
I'm a little behind the last episode ever. I haven't seen. All right. Well, thanks everybody for listening. Subscribe to our pod on iTunes, please. If you haven't, subscribe on iTunes. The first is the worst. And look out for us on Facebook and everywhere else. Talk to you later.
Have a good week.
All right. Bye.